and welcome. In this episode, we'll be touring a bit of Koh Mak. And if you watched the last episode, you'll see that we travelled from Koh Chang by fast on-Surrey ferry. And this was booked through 12 Go. And the package was door to door. And checked into our resort, the Green View. Now normally when tourists come to the islands, they'll go from Trat mainland to Koh Mak and then Koh Chang last, then back to the mainland. But I just found it easier to go to Koh Chang. I've done it that many times. But you can find it hard to leave Koh Chang because there's so much to do there. It's obviously a bigger island and more established. It drops off. It took about an hour and a half to get here. So you can see how good the road is. It's actually 4 minutes long. Runs from the ferry port to the populated centre of Koh Mak. And from the central area, a spider's web of earth roads will lead you down to the beaches and the resorts. I'm in the garden view. There's also a sea view. All of the cabins are on the sand, with beachfront cabins, and my cabin which backs into the jungle. But it is so easy to laze around here. It's quiet, not too busy, and there's no problem from the wildlife, i.e. sandflies, mosquitoes or monkeys. But I would say after 2 or 3 days we want to see a bit more of the island. And the resort that I chose was near a few of these locations. So here you can see how popular it will be for mountain bikes to get around and explore, and why there's no waterfalls or rivers on Koh Mak. My first night on Koh Mak, I decided I would go to the most highly rated sunset spot. And I booked a taxi to pick me up from the resort and take me there, because we will be driving back in the dark. And it had been a sunny day with a bright blue sky. But on the way to the viewpoint, I could see the clouds in the distance where the sun was. It has 2 names on Google Maps: the Banana Sunset Resort and the Coral Club. But it's not actually west of Koh Mak. It is the opposite direction. Because of the shape of the island, you're on the southeast leg, and you can view the sunset as it drops down into the sea between 2 islands. But if you were to walk behind yourself, follow the track down through the palm trees 500 metres, and you'll be looking directly east for the sun rising from the sea. Probably a unique spot to see a sunrise and a sunset. I left my camera running on a tripod just to see if there was any sunset, but there wasn't. And there is a nice ambience at the Coral Club, with outside decks in the sun, and indoors with the DJ, the lighting and the nightclub feel. So you've got the sea, you've got the sun, but not the sand. The shoreline resembles rock slabs, okay for walking on or laying down a towel. You will have to go a bit further for that sand. And although there's a lot of cloud around the island, you can still get a sunburn. And wearing a black and white striped shirt, when you remove it, you've got a red and white striped body. The Coral Club is a conservation area for turtles. Not too far away is Turtle Beach. From that peninsula, you can kayak out 500 metres to Koh Chang. And I'll keep that one for a future episode. And Turtle Beach isn't too far from here. I didn't go there this time round. Take a motorbike and get close to it, and then walk through the forest, or if it's low tide, follow the shoreline. So the Coral Club's about 50 metres above the beach, on a gentle slope, and there's accommodation all around. On the way back by taxi from the Coral Club, we drove past a lively spot, a 100-metre stretch of neon lights and loud music. And my taxi driver said this was Walking Street in Koh Mak. So it was my first view of fast food here in Koh Mak, and even a place where you could have a pub crawl, as well as an elusive ATM machine. So this is me riding on my bike in the dark, following the route that Google Maps would give me from my resort to the banana sunset I'd been to the night before. I went down the route twice because it's only 4 kilometers and zigzagged around from that main road, but I could not find it again. So it's obviously the taxi that took me on a scenic route. And I did ask the whereabouts of Walking Street with 2 or 3 Thai shop owners in the area, but they had never heard of it. But that would be a place for me to find in a future episode. All I can say is it's not too far from the pier where you land on Koh Mak. And as you can see how dark the roads are, probably would be easier to organise a taxi to get you there and back. The cinnamon pier is just over my shoulder here. At night time, the posts all along the pier are lit up with coloured lights, and it looks like the coastline of a busy tourist resort. That's how long it is, around 3 meters long. When it comes to Instagram, this short pier on Mak Island is well recognised, with its cocktail bar at the end and well positioned for sunsets. However, the time I was on Mak Island, it was always cloudy. So you can see the beach, my resort, ends here. Leaves you with a 400-metre wade through the sea. Of course you'll have your money in your cameras. But notice there's a couple of cruise boats there. And there's a saying that goes, shy bairns getting out. So check with the resort about hiring the boats out. I'll be following the Earth Road 4 kilometres to get to the Cinnamon Pier. So there is a resort at the end of the Cinnamon Pier, and you've got easy access to these 2 islands, and they rent kayaks out. And that tree line in the distance behind there is the island's highly rated beach. Google Maps showed us Liam Son Beach and Restaurant. And that's the length of the pier. It's been easy to build because it's not that deep. An early breakfast, and I've already chosen my bike from the bike pool and aim to get to the Cinnamon for around 7 AM. So this is my Koh Mak bike, which is short for Koh Mak. It's a Honda Zoomer. Easiest bike again to hire. Gave us a key at night time because I want an early start. Haven't took payment, didn't ask for any of me details, and obviously didn't inspect the bike because it was dark. It's gold, yellow, orange. Yes, pretty bike. Half a kilometre away is the Cinnamon Pier, which you can swim or wade to. And I was advised not to follow the tree line directly there, but take the 4 kilometre road. So I'm leaving behind my small pier at the Greenview Resort, which thanks to a skinny green dome I've had for myself for 2 days. And this ride's around 4 kilometres, which isn't bad for a 30-minute walk, maybe around 20 minutes by bicycle. My Honda Zoom took 6 minutes, but I have speeded that up. Cinnamon Pier Resort is more built up than my resort. For example, it's a 3-star hotel, and they're the people that made it possible for the 600-metre long pier. And there seems to be maybe 10 other cabins just in the woods, just up the bank from a long stretch of beach. And they share a swimming pool, and some of the family cabins have their own infinity pool. The rooms are much bigger than mine as well, and come in at the same price. High season 2025, £16 per night. But this place was fully booked up the night before I arrived. The 3-star hotel will have entertainment, and again, everyone's welcome. Though there is a charge to go along the pier, which is 50 baht. And I don't think that's manned till after breakfast. And I was there before then, at sunrise. So that's my apology straight away, because at sunset and midday, the light is much better than sunrise. This is what you call a sleepy plant. You touch the leaves here, and the leaves close up. Just so weird. So I'm sat here at the beginning of the Cinnamon Scenic Boardwalk, with the calf just behind me playing licensed music, which means I have to redo the audio. So at 7 AM I had the pier to myself for an hour. And there's a bit of haze, because we need some more sunshine to burn that off, and it will get burnt off. It was a good opportunity to fly the drone, 600 meters, and 2 batteries later. And the beach that's advertised, I'm going to go that way. It's got to be around that point. So around that point, it's probably the best beach in this area. But there's a better one, we'll do that later. And the sun's up, burns away the mist. We've had thunder. There's been some black clouds. Oh, there they are. Which direction them clouds are going, because you can hear the thunder. But the beach is quite long, nice yellow sand. But up until 9 AM, I didn't see anybody on there. Maybe it'll fill up after breakfast. From the end of the pier, you can see how close my resort is. The green view in the little pier. And how it would be easy to wade to the Cinnamon Pier rather than tackle the forest. And by road you do a large U shape. I have found out in Thailand you're not allowed to fish on the piers. And that's the concrete piers where you wouldn't expect to see tourists in the water. And I would have expected that here. As you can see, adults and children snorkeling. There's plenty cover along the pier for the many small colourful fish. And the darker patches that you see in the green sea are rocks and plant life. But as you can see here, there's a fisherman that's bagged himself a trio of colourful squid in daylight without using a green light to attract them. Midway point with a bit of shading. We've got about 100 metres to go out of that far point there. Get a kayak and go and wander into those islands. Well, that's a big island there actually. Yeah, that's one big island there. There's a brave one. So I'm walking the pier, and I think it may be 800 metres long, from the calf to the very end. There is shade maybe every 100 metres, seating areas and litter bins. But there's no cocktail bar on this pier, or anywhere for refreshments, so you will need to take your own. I'd left my backpack at the beginning of the pier with my water in. But then that stops me needing a toilet, because it's a long way to the toilet as well. Unless you want to go snorkeling. That's a fishing boat going out. And they're like pens. Just like wood framework. The water's very shallow, and I was out almost out as far as them pens from my resort, which was over there, and it was only up in the chest all the way out to there, chest high. That explains why the pier's so long. It is quite shallow. I could see the bottom, I could see the shoals of the fish. It's very good for snorkeling, you're not allowed to fish for the fish. There's plenty of them around the pier. Huge. Sea urchin. Looks like it's got two white eyes. And these black sea urchins with two white eyes on stalks. I was later to have a run in with one. And when you're swimming, not to have any part of your body come near them, as they can shoot those spines out. So you can see that the end of the pier should have been a T-shape, but for some reason one side of the pier's collapsed. Maybe Benny Hill and the roly-polies have been along here. Seems it would be easy to do over and raise the wood, or it would be just left there to form a reef. What's your name?
Bert.
Bert.
Pin.
Bert and Pin. Living in Thailand. What's the name of the place?
Sisaket.
Sisaket, yeah?
Sisaket, province of Sisaket.
Yes, that was a nice couple. It was the only people that's been on the pier. Been here about an hour now. Flatten the batteries, but it's getting hot. There's no real shade until you get halfway down the pier. And the Thai wife there, she knew a lot about durian and something called mango shit. But she's speaking in English, and even my English is not that good. But that's another fruit in Thailand, because apparently the durian makes you very hot, even in your mouth. It must be like a type of, maybe it's like a type of chili. You're supposed to have this mango sheet, which cools your body down. But even she says you shouldn't have durian with beer. But it's not just beer. It's anything with CO2 in. There's a CO2 that gets a reaction. Like the couple coming back now. Bert and Pin. wrong way around the roundabout. Here's a roundabout. Coming up, that's the third person I've seen. So leaving the Cinnamon Resort, it's a 9-minute bike ride to Liam Son Beach. And if I was staying on this resort, I would just take the direct route from the beach here to Liam Son Beach. It's a 250-metre trek through the forest. And it is more of a forest, not a jungle. On the way down here, I did stop and notice a sign and a trek off into the forest, and that's the one we'll be taking. And there's no writing on that sign when you're driving inland, only when you're coming down to the resort. If you check Google Maps from your resort, it won't work out in the woods. They'll show you Liam Son Beach in the middle of the island. Probably their way of direct you to a turn off that road. But I've altered the map so you can see the route that I take. Liam Son Beach. Red arrow on the tree. And it is an earth road. I imagine it'll be a problem in the rainy season because it would turn to mud. And there's no signs of any cars using this road, even though it looks like a private luxury villa near the beach. Well, you have to keep an eye out for red arrows that lead you down to the beach. And if you're walking, 30-minute walk, but you shouldn't really miss the signs. We come to a stretch of hard standing here. It looks like it's been either a small resort or a restaurant to the left. It's long since abandoned. Koh Mak. You can rent a boat from here to go to Koh Mak. It'll be a long tail of a fishing boat. 1.34 kilometres to the beach. And again, various directions that you can go. Follow the arrow, but it seems to be a working forest with crops that are harvested by the tides. A restaurant, food for rent, on the beach. This is Liam Son Beach. And nice drive coming down on the bike. We've got a breeze, a lot of bird life and things flying around. You get on the beach and there's dragonflies flying around. You must expect water somewhere. It's quiet, it's secluded. And Liam Son Beach is highly rated in this area. The only complaint is about its inaccessibility. And if your beach is crowded, maybe you would want to come here. But yeah, we'll get a cool drink from the guy over there. But if you want to come and read a book. And the amount of comics or Koh Maks on the island, the local Thai people, number 600, and they're far outnumbered by the Farang. And at this time in high season, there were only 4 resorts showing accommodation. So right there, don't go left. There you look at the call centre, and dodgy houses and property. Straight on. Come to a T-junction, the signs had stopped. There was no red arrow, so I took a guess and turned left. But the road's getting more sandy, so it must be near the beach. I'd like to say you could follow the sound of the sea, but the waves don't really make that much noise. But you do see the sea, and this is a little car park which backs onto that luxury villa, which is well camouflaged. You can't see anything that's in there other than a satellite dish and the roof. And even on Google Maps, it's shaded out. This is Lim Som Beach. And the island on the other side. And there's properties on there. Small island. The big island there is Koh Chang. And if it was low tide, I'd be tempted to go over. About a 30-minute kayak away. But there's a boat on the beach which you can hire from the restaurant, and they will take you over. In Instagram shots, you may recognise the two small islands off the left tip. At low tide is a sandbar, and you can walk between the three of them. But you can wade out to them at high tide, and your shorts would stay dry. It's also a fantastic sunset spot. That is, if the clouds are behaving. Then you will be returning back to the restaurant, getting near dark, without having drink and some food. And then you'll be hoping you've got a motorbike with a working light to get you back along the road, or a powerful torch to take you through the forest. It's 9 AM. No one's here. The fishing boat's up there. That's a peninsula, so around the peninsula, and you'll be onto the Cinnamon Boardwalk. And it's clearly got up on signs that you can't fly a drone here. Heaven forbid we damage one of the leaves off the palm tree. So I had some food at the restaurant. I mentioned to the lady that served me why the 10,000 baht fine for flying a drone. And she indicated to the villa, surrounded by trees, that they don't like being spied on. And I would think that a Lim Som restaurant started off like so many other successful beach resorts around here, gradually building a few cabins near the beach, taking on guests and expanding. But I think that private property might stop that. Also, the track, a couple of kilometres long, would have to be vastly improved to carry SUVs and minibuses. The tie-up probably used as an anchor spot for the boats, as the restaurant is supplied by boat. Very newish property there. Big air condition. Maybe it's a private house. Yep, and that would be his garden fence. So that's private property. And you can't be on the beach. But the beach isn't very big along there. This is high tide. But the restaurant guy probably looks after the beach, as he can't help but get washed up, as long as there's somebody there to pick it up. It looks well maintained. Again, lovely and clear. I'm going to cool drink and listen to the noise. So the sea is crystal clear. And of course I get to a drone shot. So now I'm going to show you the most popular place on Koh Mak. And it's not a beach, a nightclub, a bar, or even a temple. It is the Food Art Hut, pretty much central in Koh Mak. And I've witnessed many tourists marching regimental style from the various resorts to come here and dine. The prices are usual for sit down and eat, and as I witnessed many mouth-watering dishes being served, I felt like having seconds and giving that one a try. The price is around double of what the street food is, between 150 and 250 baht, except it feels like you're sitting in an artist studio, enjoying your meal and drink, and there's plenty of alfresco dining around the food art hut. But if you're walking, you have a 5 to 30 minute back to the various resorts, and it helps you digest your food. And I would say it's a must if you come to Koh Mak. It's a food art hut. Get my food. I took one that's half an hour to make. Everybody seems to be getting served and leaving. So this should be worth it. I know it's a red curry sauce and chicken. So just off the jungle street or the jungle road. Koh Mak food art hut. I see there's plenty of bikes, plenty of customers. There's only one table empty when I arrived. It took a half an hour to do my meal. I made a joke and I said, "It'll take that long to catch the chicken." No, she forgot to put my order in. Which is quite funny about it. And eat down the side, eat outside. What I had was like nice and crunchy and succulent. It was like almost compared like a leek. But it was bamboo. And with the chicken and the red curry. It was well worth it. So your final look at Koh Mak will be Ao Son Yai Beach. That's over on the west coast. Looks far on the map, but it's only a 9-minute bike ride. Ao Son Yai has a long stretch of beach, and its coastline is filled with 4 resorts, and it gives you that feel of shoulder to shoulder with other tourists, and it's as close to Koh Chang as you're going to get, i.e. White Sands Beach or Kai Bay Beach. And at this time it's the highest rated beach on Koh Mak, and probably the most populated. And I'll show you a bit of the bike ride to get there, with the novelty that we have Google Maps. My sim's picking up a signal here. Here you come to a fork in the road, and Google Maps says nothing. So again I just follow the river until Google picks up again. And on the left hand side you'll see a river that I believe will be flowing down to the beach, and that's the only sign of fresh water that I've seen on Koh Mak. Maybe come dusk it will be filled with mosquito, and I've left by then, so I still haven't come across any mosquito on Koh Mak. And it's not so much as using the map to find the beach, it's finding the car park to leave the bike. There's no else. We have arrived. So arrived at Ao Son Yai, just followed that dirt road round as you saw. And you're here and you think it's private property, there's Thai houses and but these are beach huts. And I've just parked here under the shade, but you can't take your bike down, and it's got parking sign and it's on a nice bit of lawn. Doesn't seem right, so I'll just leave the bike here. Looks like plenty of neon lights and other lighting for the night time. The boardwalks are a bit different. that because as a stream comes down this one, stream comes in. Oh, it could be a lagoon. Seawater lagoon with cabins on. The birds waiting for a drink. So there is plenty of lighting along the shoreline for those people who like things to be visible in the dark. Yeah, it'd be a nice walk along here at night. There's a bridge there. Some bulbs that come up. Pushing this to the sand. Koh Chang Beach. I said that totally wrong. There's an island out there. It looks like it's a nice white sand beach. And that's an island that we've seen earlier, Koh Chang. And that's northwest tip of Koh Mak, where Turtle Beach is. And that's your water tuk-tuk and sail you over to the islands. So if you're the type of person that's worried by snakes, monkeys, tigers and spiders, a resort like this is ideal for you. Well manicured and maintained and well lit at night. Yes, so maybe some snorkeling out there. And if you enjoy a pub crawl, a short journey between watering holes, there's a mile stretch of beach here, 4 resorts, as well as cafes, ice cream parlours and beachside cocktail places. And it will be more expensive than the previous island. There's no street vendors here or 7-Eleven, but the Thais have their own mini markets, so you can always stock up. Some we're going to move a tree trunk that's floated in. Good stretch, good load of accommodations. Yeah, manicured as well, manicured front. And twice a day the tide will wash stuff up, but there's no litter that I can see. There was a resort here, and let the staff clean it up. You've got 3 ice cream board with banana. The popular one is mango and rice. That's a dessert. Oh, I've got a cherry on top as well. A cherry with a red stalk. That's my view. Gonna have an ice cream. That's it for now. It's very laid back, very quiet. Although there's 2 piers and there's speedboats for hire, there's nothing dashing about in the water. Certainly nothing like that here. Just come and relax. 28 degrees today. We go up to 29, so it's cooler. Actually slept with the air conditioner off last night just with a fan. And a mosquito net. Well, I've never heard a mosquito in my room. When I say the room's dark, you wouldn't know, but normally you hear them. But I've still put the net on anyway. I brought my snorkel for the first time I remembered it. But it looks like this would have been more better for fishing. Looks like it's all sand on the bottom, there's no rocks. We've got a guy here fishing, Thai guy, with a spinner. Floating pier over there. It's Kabai, I see by another boat. It's one on the beach, we've seen them in Koh Chang. Is that a photo? And it's not as bright as it was a couple of hours ago at the other beach in I couldn't see the screen on my phone. Oh, right. The sun was just coming up straight at us. It goes down the opposite side of the island. Yeah, telephoto. Looks like a dead whale out there. Yeah, it could be a dead whale. Yeah, definitely not me. It's a long strip of beach. Yeah, it's thin, but it's high tide again. Just high tide is just a follow.
Now another tip that I can give you is to pre-book your stay on Koh Mak. Though for me, I've only pre-booked a 3-night stay on an upcoming Koh Island. But Mak Island is a lot smaller than the other islands and less accommodation. And people who are doing the island hop cause a bottleneck here. And if you're booking a ferry, make sure there's accommodation before you get off. While there was over 1,000 vacancies on Koh Chang, there was only 4 resorts here showing vacancies. And cost-wise to Koh Chang, pretty much the same. The accommodation was cheaper and it provided coffee, tea and chilled water anytime you wanted it. But I never ate or drank cheaply. You have no fridge in your room, so drinks that you would buy in a mini market, you'd have to consume straight away. But if you wonder what Koh Chang was like 25 years ago, come to Koh Mak.
There's resorts hidden in the trees. We've got people sitting on the beach. It's getting on to dinner time now.
And get to know the island during the day if you're riding around, and make notice of the signs. Sometimes they're just a piece of wood and broken English, but you need to remember the name of the resort or the name of the beach, the location that you're going to. And sometimes the signs are only labelled on one side.
So I think the day will have a quiet one. Do a bit of sunbathing. Got massive burns off the kayaking and riding a bike. It's always on one side. Try and fill in the other parts. And the resort's arranged. Taxi down to the pier. We'll catch a ferry over to Koh Mak. And that's about 4 times as big as this island. We'll see what that's like.
And next time, 2 islands in one. Koh Mak and Koh Chang. Okay, it's just one island with 2 names.